everybody. Apologize for the late start on this game. I think I did about 4 laps to my car and back. I'm a little winded. All right, out on the ice we have Gwen and Lennon on defense. Oh, and a score for Chesterfield. Tough shot.
Good job, Falcons!
All right, out on the ice now, we've got Penny, Margot taking the face-off, and Bree. And on defense, Ruby and Beckett. Bree's gonna take that down into our offensive zone. She gets around 1, but loses her edge. Penny's gonna battle along the board. Beckett does a good job keeping that in at the blue line. We're gonna take it down to the near corner.
Oh, here we go!
Just pops out through the blue line. Beckett's able to slow it down a little. Chesterfield gains the zone. Ruby's able to get her stick on that, goes just wide of the goal. Margot sends that up the boards, but Chesterfield sends it back deep. Chesterfield tries to center that. Ruby sends it up the boards and out of the zone. We're in the neutral zone now. Chesterfield. Lady Wild's able to send that deep into our offensive zone, where Chesterfield gathers it behind the net. Great centering pass by Bree, but picked off by Chesterfield. They were bringing it down. Beckett was able to get her stick on that to break it up. And we're gonna have a little battle in the neutral zone. Lady Wild, still kind of in the neutral zone here. Chesterfield gains the line. Good shot on goal, but good block by Finley. Lady Wild are gonna bring it through the neutral zone, kind of run into our own players a bit. Still working for it in the neutral zone. Chesterfield sends that across and up the boards, gets stuck in the striped skates there, but Ruby's able to send it back across the line. Where Chesterfield sends it back into our defensive zone. Ruby's gonna chase that down behind the net. She's gonna carry it around, changes direction. It's gonna carry it around the other way. Sends it up the boards to Caroline, where Caroline's gonna bring that through the neutral zone. She gets around 1. Gets run into by a Chesterfield player, but we're able to get that deep into our zone. A good centering pass try by Beckett, but it's picked off by Chesterfield. Puck gets sent deep into our defensive zone. Lennon's out there now, and she chases that down, sends it up the board to Caroline, who gets tripped up, no call. We're in the neutral zone. Gabby works to get that across the line, but Chesterfield sends it back out. I believe that's going to be an icing call. We're going to face off in our offensive zone. Margot taking the face off with Laura and Ellie, and Gwen and Lennon on defense. Margot's gonna battle in the near corner, sends it around the boards. Chesterfield player picks it up, overskates it a bit, tries to send it across the line, but stopped by Lennon. This one gets past Lennon for another icing. Oof, that was close. And we'll do it again in our offensive zone. All right, we're gonna keep the same lines on the ice. Margot taking the face off. One back to Chesterfield, but Margot's gonna give a lot of pressure. She loses an edge, but still gets the puck. Chesterfield's a little pushed by Laura there, like to see it. Sends it around the boards. Picked up by Chesterfield. Lennon tries to stop it, but they get by her, and Gwen's gonna put some pressure, and a great save by Finley. So we're gonna take a face off in our defensive zone. Caroline taking the face off with Penny and Bree, Ruby, and Beckett on defense. Chesterfield's got it at the blue line, tried to send it, but it gets blocked by Caroline. Ruby's gonna take it, and she gets it up to Bree into the neutral zone. Bree gets through the neutral zone. Backhanded shot. Oh, just a great save by the Chesterfield goalie. Chesterfield tries to send it up. Beckett stops it. Chesterfield gets it back into the neutral zone. Caroline's gonna pick that off along the boards. Skate behind our net. Oops, she loses an edge. Ruby's able to pick it up, send it up the boards. Nobody's home. That gets shot real wide. Caroline's gonna pick it up behind our net. She is gonna carry it up the boards. Facing a lot of Chesterfield pressure. They get a shot off, and it just bounces off of Finn and into the net. That was a tough, tough shot. So now the score is 2-0 Chesterfield. 4 minutes and 4 seconds left of the first period. Gwen and Lennon on defense. Margot taking the face off with Gabby and Riley. Margot giving some good pressure. She gets that deep in the corner. Great centering pass. Oh, just misses Riley and Gabby. Gabby's gonna chase that down along the boards. Lennon's gonna pick it up, send it deep. Chesterfield sends it back up. Lennon's gonna pick it up in the neutral zone and sends it down deep into the far corner of our offensive zone. Margot's gonna chase that down. Chesterfield sends it up the boards, just squeezes past Gwen. It's gonna be no icing. Lennon chases it down behind the net. Chesterfield's defense keeps that in, tries to center, but it's picked off by Riley, who sends it through the neutral zone. Gonna be no icing. Chesterfield's gonna have to pick it up. They carry it back through the neutral zone. We got 3 Lady Wild there to stop her. Gwen sends that up the boards. Chesterfield gets a handle on it, sends it towards the net, but stopped by Lennon, who kicks it back up towards the line. Chesterfield holds it, sends it back deep. They try to center, picked off by Riley. Riley's gonna skate it up the middle. She sends it towards the net. Nobody's there, but she keeps the pressure on here in the near corner. Kind of battling along our blue line. They send it back into the neutral zone. A lot of girls there in the neutral zone. Pops out into our offensive zone, but Chesterfield picks it up, sends it up. This gets picked up by Ruby, sends it up the boards, but Caroline had lost an edge there. And Chesterfield picks it up. Good poke by Beckett there. Beckett's gonna pick it up, and she sends it back into the neutral zone. Beckett picks it up again, chips it around one Chesterfield player. Beckett playing from her knees, doing an awesome job there. Caroline She's going to pick that up in the neutral zone. She's going to skate it into our offensive zone, runs into some Chesterfield pressure. Sorry, you guys can't see that. Got a little bit of a battle in the neutral zone. Ruby's able to get it. Beckett was able to get a stick on that.
Go, Eddie.
Ruby put some pressure. The Chesterfield's able to still get it into our zone. They get a shot, but it's stopped by Caroline. Caroline loses an edge there. She might have gotten tripped, but no call. Ooh, Chesterfield centers, but they can't connect. We need to get it out. And we do, and we're back in the neutral zone. Chesterfield passes across. They're going to carry it up the boards. They chip it. Ruby backhands it back out of the zone. Chesterfield's going to have to regroup, but with great pressure from Caroline, they send it down deep into the defensive zone, where Beckett's going to pick it up. She sends it up the boards to Bree, who sends it through the neutral zone. There's going to be no ice. Bree's going to work hard to chase that down. Chesterfield sends it back up. Ruby's going to pick it up and carry it behind the net.
Go after it, Eddie.
She's going to just skate it, and she's going to send it up the boards to Ellie, but Ellie can't quite connect with it. Ruby's...
Eddie!
Caroline's going to bring it up the boards. She chips it up and out. Chesterfield needs to regroup. They do and send it out. Ruby sends it out again. Chesterfield picks it up in the neutral zone, but that's the end of the first period. We end with Chesterfield's 2, Lady Wild 0. Everybody, welcome back to the second period. Taking the face-off for the Lady Wild is Margot with Penny and Riley, and Gwen and Lennon on defense. Penny's coming out, and we got Gabby out now. Margot hits that, wins it forward. She's going to chase it down. Gwen sends that in, but that's offsides on the Lady Wild. We're going to keep the same line out on the ice for the Lady Wild. And we're going to drop it at center ice. Not sure why. Margot wins that over to Gabby. Gabby sends it back to Gwen on D. Gwen's going to skate it around the net, up the boards to Riley. But Chesterfield picks it up. But Margot picks that off, gets a stick on it. We send it across ice where Lennon's going to battle. Chesterfield sends it around. Gwen keeps sending it, but it's stopped by Chesterfield defense. Chesterfield tries to center that, does get a hold of someone. They get a wide shot off with Lennon getting her stick in the way. Gwen sends that up, but it runs into a couple Chesterfield players. Chesterfield sends it across the ice. Margot's going to pick it up around the boards. She tries to send it, runs into a Chesterfield player, but gets it around a little. And that Chesterfield manages to get a slow roller towards the goal, picked up by Finley. All right, coming out for the Lady Wilds. Ruby and Beckett on defense. Caroline and Laura and Ellie on offense. Caroline wins that over to Ruby, who sends it up the board. Caroline's able to pick it up. Caroline chips around one Chesterfield player, but gets picked off by another one. Beckett's going to pick this up and carry it around the net with a lot of pressure from a Chesterfield player. She sends it around. Ellie can't quite get to it in time, but Caroline's able to pick up the puck, and she gets around one. She tries to send it up to Laura. It was a good idea. Beckett's able to get that out of harm's way, and Lady Wild get it out to the neutral zone. Chesterfield sends it back in, picked up by Ruby, who sends it back out. And we're back in the neutral zone. Chesterfield sends it back in, and that's an offsides. All right, taking the face off. Margot still with Bree and Penny out there now, and Ruby and Beckett on defense. Chesterfield picks this up, but it runs into Bree's stick, where she sends it towards the net. Oh, that was close. Bree's putting a lot of pressure on. That comes out to Beckett, who's going to battle along the boards there. Penny is in the center there to receive a pass. That was close. Ooh, another centering pass. This is going to come out to Beckett, who's going to be able to rip it. Oh, but runs right into a Chesterfield stick. But great job by Beckett getting over and still getting that puck. She sends it back into our offensive zone. The Chesterfield coach would really like his girls to carry the puck. I don't know if you can hear him saying that basically constantly, but I know about it. So. All right, Caroline taking the face off, wins it. Oh, nope, Chesterfield gets a hold of that. We've also got Riley and Gabby out there. Chesterfield sends that towards the net, where Finley's able to bat it away, and Lennon sends it up the boards to Gabby, who's able to get it out. Chesterfield's gonna have to regroup, and they do, and they send it back deep into our defensive zone, where Lennon's gonna pick it up and bring it. She changes direction. Oh, just kidding, she didn't. She sends it up the boards. Gabby's doing a great job battling. Chesterfield sends it. Great stop by Finn. Caroline's gonna battle along the board there. Chesterfield sends it behind the net, picked up by Lennon, who gets around one. Good centering pass by Chesterfield, but batted out of the way by Gwen. Lennon gets a stick on that centering pass. Gabby's gonna chase it down. Gabby gets a hold of it again. Okay, and we're behind the net, where Lennon's gonna chase down here. She gets her stick on it and is able to send it out of harm's way back there. Gabby's kind of had it along the boards there, and Lady Wild are able to get out to the neutral zone. Chesterfield's able to gain the zone again, but kicked right back out by Lennon. And they send it back in offsides. Coming out for the Lady Wild, Margot gonna take the face off with Laura and Ellie, and Ruby and Beckett on defense. Margot wins that over and is gonna have to battle Chesterfield to pick it up. Chesterfield brings it through the neutral zone. And it's broken up by Ruby and Beckett. Good team effort there. Ruby's able to get her stick on that shot and send it out up to Ellie, who's able to kick it out to the neutral zone. Chesterfield picks it up in our offensive zone, passes across. Risky move, but there were no Lady Wild players there. Ruby holds that in with a backhand. Everyone's still battling along the boards. Chesterfield sends out with a chip along the boards, but it's going to be icing. And we will have a face-off in our offensive zone. Girls are feeling this song. All right, Caroline gonna take the face-off with Penny and Bree, Ruby and Beckett on defense. One back to Caroline, but it just gets past the blue line. Beckett sends it back in. Great stick by Bree. Caroline's gonna pick it up in the corner. She's ready to center it and is able to, but runs into 3 Chesterfield players. Beckett's gonna pick that up along the boards. And now we're back behind the net. Send it up the boards. Ruby's going to stop it there. Gets a stick on it, but not very much, but is able to keep it in. And we're out in the neutral zone. Sends in just a little early for offsides. All right, coming out to take the face off, Margot. She looks ready to roll. We've got Gabby and Riley out there, and Lennon and Gwen on defense. Puck comes out to Lennon in the neutral zone. She passes it up to Margot, just can't quite hold the pass, but gets her stick on it. They send it across ice to Gwen here, is gonna kick it. Okay, Margot gets her stick on that and is able to send it out through the neutral zone and into our offensive zone. Doesn't have enough mustard to be an icing, so Chesterfield picks it up behind the net. They try to chip it up the boards. Lennon is able to get her stick on it to hold it in, but it does pop out. Margot's doing a great job battling, and we're able to kick it down into the far boards of our offensive zone. Chesterfield picks it up behind the net, but loses an edge, and Margot picks it up behind, tries to center it, but Chesterfield's a bunch of them in front of the net there. They kick it up through the neutral zone. It gets to Lennon, and we ran into a kind of an awkward offsides with a potential line change. Out for the face-off, Caroline, Laura and Ellie, and Ruby and Beckett on defense. Caroline wins that forward, but Chesterfield's able to pick it up. Laura giving good pressure, and so is Caroline there. We're in the corner. Caroline picks it up, kicks it behind the net. Up to Ellie, can't quite get her stick on it. Chesterfield tries to center, misses, goes across ice where Beckett's able to help work it up the boards, but Chesterfield's able to pick it up. Ruby gets her stick in the way, but Chesterfield picks it up, sends a hard shot to Finley, who stops it. All right, Caroline picks it up. She's going to carry it through the neutral zone. Tries to pass it up to Laura, picked off by a Chesterfield player. Caroline battles along the board, but Chesterfield sends it deep. Ruby's going to pick it up in the corner, carry it around the net. She sends it up to Ellie. Misses Ellie, almost gets Caroline. Beckett's able to pick up a centering pass. She sends it. Chesterfield gets a stick on it. Caroline tries to get it picked up. Ruby kicks it out of harm's way there and up out into the neutral zone. Caroline picks it up. She's going to carry it through the neutral zone with a lot of pressure by Chesterfield. Chesterfield kicks it back in. Ruby picks it up. She sends it up, but runs into a player that's just coming onto the ice. Good job by Beckett to break that up. Chesterfield holds it in again. It's a weird spot to battle, but here we are. Ruby gets her stick on that, knocks it out of harm's way, but ooh. Chesterfield picked it up, got a good shot on net there, but we're able to squeak by. Chesterfield continues to get it in the center there, out into the neutral zone. We got one player coming through. Ruby gets her stick on that. They have a shot just a few feet over the net, but it was a good attempt. Ruby's gonna pick this up in the corner. She sends it up to Ellie, who sends it over to Chesterfield, ends up picking it up and kicks it back in, and it's gonna be offsides. Lady Wild need to get some offensive zone time going in this game. We've got 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in this period. Margot taking the face off with Bree and Penny and Gwen and Lennon on defense. Gwen's gonna pick this up and send it up to Penny, but it's picked off by a Chesterfield player. Margot is able to break that up, but picked up again by a Chesterfield player. Bree picks this up. Lady Wild are getting their sticks on everything, but just can't get control of it. Chesterfield sends a couple towards Finley. Finley blocked one, and that one went wide. Lennon sends this up the boards to Bree. It's a Chesterfield stick in the way, but Lady Wild's able to get it out. We're in our offensive zone. Let's see if we can try to keep it in. Chesterfield sends it up the boards. Took a weird bounce. Lady Wild battling along the boards there. I can't see her. Margot. We get sent down deep. Chesterfield decides to carry it up through the center, but can't get stopped by a Lady Wild. She gets around Gwen, sends a shot, hits the side of the net. Lennon's gonna try to pick it up behind the net. Gets it up a little more towards Margot. Chesterfield's able to center this again, but Finley is able to get it covered. 1 minute and 18 seconds left in this period. Taking the face off, Caroline. Ready to rock. She's going to be out there with Riley, Gabby, and Ruby and Beckett on defense. Chesterfield wins that back to the D and takes a shot, but it runs into Riley. And Lady Wild's able to get it out to the neutral zone, where Chesterfield has to regroup. They do, send it back in, and then Lady Wild send it back out. Caroline's gonna carry it through the middle. She gets around a couple, gets around another one. Gets blocked on her shot, but is continuing to keep it in front of the net. Great job there. Chesterfield gets it through the center. They get by Ruby, who tried to pinch up there, but Beckett is a great, Ruby ends up scoring on us, trying to get that blocked. That was just a bad bounce. That sucks. All right, Margot gonna take the face off with Laura and Ellie. Ellie's able to pick up this face off and get it down deep. Good job, Ellie. Chesterfield sends it back up the boards to Beckett, who sends it towards the net. Runs into a couple Chesterfield players, but Margot is able to keep it down deep behind the net. Chesterfield brings it up the boards. A good battle by Margot to keep it down. Margot's got it behind the net, battling a Chesterfield player. Oh, she gets it centered. Oh, we get a shot on goal. Laura picks it up, sends it with a backhand. Another shot. Chesterfield. It would have been an icing, but that's the end of the period. Welcome back to the third period. Lady Wild versus Chesterfield. Chesterfield up 3-0. Caroline taking the face off with Bree and Penny, and Lennon and Gwen on defense. That's one into the Chesterfield, or into our offensive zone. Battle along the corner here. Chesterfield's going to bring it up the boards. They get around Gwen. Lennon's there to pinch off. Caroline's able to carry it out into the zone. You just can't quite get control over it. Gwen sends it into the neutral zone. Still are. Just gonna send it back and forth in the neutral zone.
Go!
Picked up by Chesterfield. Pressure by Bree. Great stick by Bree there. Caroline picks it up. Is going to carry it behind the net. And she sends it up to Penny. Penny can't quite get her stick on it, but Bree was able to, and we keep pushing it down. Chesterfield sends it up. They send it through the neutral zone where Gwen picks it up. She goes across to Lennon. Lennon's going to carry it. And she continues to carry it. Good job, Lennon. She gets it all the way down into the... All right, Penny's able to try to center that. Chesterfield picks it up behind the net. They try to send it up, but they run into Caroline, who tries to center. Caroline's going to pick it up again, keep it in. Excuse me. Chesterfield sends it through the neutral zone. She's going to skate it. Lennon's able to get her stick on it, and then Caroline picks it up. Caroline's going to work that through the neutral zone, but she runs into like 3 Chesterfield players. I swear it feels like Chesterfield has like 9 players out there at all times. Caroline's trying to chase this down. Gets past the blue line, but Bree's able to pick it up. And they send it across the neutral zone into our defensive zone. Lennon's giving a lot of pressure and is able to get that away. We send it back into the neutral zone. Okay, sorry. Honestly, I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, okay, penalty on Chesterfield. All right, Lady Wild going on a power play. Beckett and Ruby on defense. Caroline, Margot, and Bree on offense. And that's one back to Chesterfield, who are going to try to carry it around the net with a lot of pressure from Caroline. They send it through the middle. They get it out into the neutral zone. Ruby picks it up. She sends it. It's going to be icing. That was close. She was close to the line. All right, dropped in. Lady Wild are able. Oh, okay. Can't see. I apologize. All right, Ruby's going to pick this up and kick it out into the neutral zone. Chesterfield picks it up, but Ruby gets her stick on it. She's going to carry it through the neutral zone. And Beckett sends it deeper into the neutral zone, but Chesterfield picks it up. Good stick by Caroline there. Beckett's going to pick this up
Good job, Falcons!
and carry it behind the net. She sends it over to Riley, who's got a little room, but a Chesterfield player does get over to her. Picked up by Caroline. She's going to carry it through the neutral zone. It goes in offsides. All right, Riley, Margot, and Penny on offense, and Gwen and Lennon on defense. Gwen sends that up the boards. Chesterfield tries to send it across. Penny's stick gets in the way, but Chesterfield's still able to pick it up. Margot gets her stick on it, sends it out. Chesterfield sends it back in on for offsides. Chesterfield's at full strength also. We have 7 minutes and 27 seconds in this third period. Margot takes the face off and gives a lot of pressure. Chesterfield's able to pick it up. Chesterfield gets past Lennon there, who tries to get in her way, but they get a shot on goal. Finley was able to stop the first one, but couldn't get a hold of the rebound there, and they were able to poke it back in. So that's 4-0 Chesterfield. All right, coming out for the Lady Wild, Ruby and Beckett on defense. Caroline taking the face off with Bree and Laura. Chesterfield picks up that face-off, carry it through the neutral zone, and chip it deep into our defensive zone, where Ruby's going to pick it up behind the net. She tries to send it, runs into a Chesterfield skate, but is able to get a hold of it and send it up the boards to Caroline. Bree's able to send that out to the neutral zone, and Laura's going to give this Chesterfield player a run for her money. Chesterfield sends it out to the neutral zone, picked up by Beckett, who's going to carry it in. Caroline gets it sent down deep into the corner. Chesterfield's going to bring it up. They get around. Lady Wild's able to pick it up. We're back into our offensive zone. Caroline sends it towards the net. Chesterfield picks it up along the boards. They try to send it up the boards. That comes out to Ruby. She tries to send it, runs into a few skates. It pops out, but Beckett's there to retrieve it. Lady Wild get it back in and out and in. Offsides. All right, Margot taking the face off with Ellie and Gabby, Gwen and Lennon on defense. It's Gwen battling along the boards. Chesterfield's able to push that into their offensive zone. Lennon picks it up, sends it up the boards. Chesterfield sends it back down deep. Lennon picks it up behind the net. She sends it around to Gabby. Gabby hustles to get over there, and she does. She keeps battling. We're able to get it up the boards into the neutral zone. Still just all in a pile there. Chesterfield comes away with it, but then Lady Wild get it, and Ellie comes away with it. Chesterfield takes it up the boards. They send it into our defensive zone. Lennon's able to kick that out of harm's way up to the Chesterfield defense. They try to send it. Gwen does a good job getting her stick on that. Up to Gabby's blocks a shot there from the defenseman. They send it center. That's 5-0 Chesterfield. 4 minutes and 42 seconds left of the third period. Caroline comes out to take the face off with Penny and Bree, Ruby, and Beckett on defense. All right, Beckett has this in our defensive zone. She sends it up the boards to Chesterfield. Chesterfield gains the line. They send one. Good stop by Finn. Penny sends it out through the neutral zone. It's going to be no icing. Chesterfield brings it around. They send it up the boards. Ruby tries to get that, but they get past Ruby. But Beckett does a good job to be there and help out. We're along the boards here. Here in the near corner. Penny's able to send that towards the net. And Caroline gets a couple shots on goal there. I'm not sure where it is. Oh, there it is, coming out into the far corner. Chesterfield's gonna skate it out. They get around Beckett. Ruby pinches behind her and is able to slow it down and then gets picked up by Caroline. Caroline sends it up the boards. I think that's Laura.
Good, man.
Nope, that's Caroline. Ruby sends it up and out. Caroline's gonna battle because Chesterfield's just trying to hold it there. Lady Wild get it out. Caroline's able to. Bree's gonna chase that across the neutral zone there. Able to get it a little further into the neutral zone. Beckett has it. It's gonna take it in. We gotta hold it out here for a second while we regroup. Ruby sends it in, but we run into a Chesterfield player. Ruby able to pick that off and sends it into our offensive zone. Penny's gonna try to chase, but Chesterfield's gonna come out with it. Run into Beckett, who stops the play, sends it we're just kind of battling in the neutral zone here.
Go. Good, Avery.
Chesterfield skates are everywhere. And we're back in the neutral zone. And now we're in our defensive zone, but not very deep. And we're back in the neutral zone. Chesterfield's gonna pick it up. We have 1 minute and 50 seconds left. Chesterfield's gonna carry it all the way
Good job,
deep.
Avery.
Ruby got her stick on that, but still we're towards the net here. Caroline's able to kick that out of harm's way. Chesterfield's gonna bring that towards the net here.
Good try.
And this finally pops out into the neutral zone. The Lady Wild are gonna let them pass it across and back deep. Lennon picks it up behind the net. She carries it around, runs into a stick, but is able to continue with it. We send it back across the ice in the near corner here. Chesterfield picks this up behind their net. They're gonna skate it through. We get around most of the Lady Wild players and on one left and shoot. Great stop. Finn. Finn said no thank you. 36 seconds left. Running clock. Caroline takes the face off with Bree, and Bree's gonna carry it through. She sends it deep into the corner. We also have Gabby out there. Caroline's gonna chase this down behind the net. Some pressure. It's just so many Chesterfield skates everywhere. Chesterfield's gonna bring it through the neutral zone. Lennon's putting a lot of pressure, and that's the end of the third period. Chesterfield wins 5-0. We are back here tomorrow. At 10:15 a.m. We are playing Kansas City Storm at 10:15 tomorrow. We'll see you then. And Greg will be here. So that'll be good. All right, bye.